Now, what do you mean by unpaid seller? When you first hear the word unpaid, the first thing that comes to mind is something which is not paid. The price has not been paid. The consideration has not been given. To whom? To the seller. So this is a person who is a seller who has sold some goods, yet he has not received some consideration. But is it that simple? No, there are various things, various nitty-gritties, various provisions that we need to cover relating to unpaid seller. Let's see what are the various provisions relating to unpaid seller. But before that, let's first go through the definition of unpaid seller as defined under the Sale of Goods Act 1930. So who's an unpaid seller? Unpaid seller is a person to whom whole of the price is not paid. He's a person, he's a seller to whom whole of the price is not paid. Or if the transaction has been done through negotiable instruments. Negotiable instruments means check, bill of exchange, promissory note. In India, we have three negotiable instruments: check, bill of exchange, and promissory note. So, if the transaction has been done through negotiable instruments, the instrument has got dishonored. So it is very clear that is when you purchase something, you pay for it. You either pay in cash or you pay through debit card or credit card. What happens is in such a transaction, the seller gets the credit. There is no chance of a default. If the seller swipes your debit or credit card, he is sure to get the money for his goods. Or if you pay him in cash, there's no two ways, or there's no other possibility that he might not get the consideration. The problem arises when you give him a check, or you are accepting a bill of exchange. In that, possibly there may be a time lag. In a check, there may be a time lag of 2 days or 4 days or 7 days, depending on the location and the banker, etc. So now here the seller runs a risk for these 4 days or a week. Again, in case of bill of exchange, for the tenure for which the bill of exchange has been accepted by you, for that tenure, the seller will run the risk, because you have promised him that you'll pay him, let's say, after a month. So now he'll be getting the payment after a month. So for this 1 month, he is running the risk. Yet the payment is not due from you. The payment will be due after 1 month. And after 1 month, if you dishonor this bill, then the seller will become an unpaid seller. Till that time, he'll remain as a seller only. So till the time the check gets cleared, he remains a seller. After the check gets cleared, all your liabilities are over. His liability was to give you the goods. Your liability was to give him money. Now the check has gotten cleared, so now the contract has terminated. However, if the check does not get cleared, it bounces, it gets dishonored, then the seller will become an unpaid seller. So who's an unpaid seller? There are two things. First, is the transaction done with the help of negotiable instrument or no? If it is not done, he is a person to whom the price has not been paid. Second, if the price has been paid through a negotiable instrument, let's say a bill or a check, then that bill or the check has dishonored. It is simple to understand that if the bill or check dishonors, that means again his price has not been paid. So the definition has two things. An unpaid seller is a person, he is a seller who has not got money for his goods. Now the two things are: first, if the transaction is not on account of negotiable instruments, then he's not got the amount. If it is on account of negotiable instrument, such a negotiable instrument has got dishonored. So this is the definition of an unpaid seller. Now, if you note the word whole in the first point, you can see the line says whole of the price has not been paid. Now, let's assume a transaction. Let's assume a sale transaction. You go to a shop to purchase a TV. You go to a showroom, electronics showroom, to purchase a TV. Now the TV, let's say the TV costs rupees 25,000, and you give him 20,000 rupees, and you tell him that you'll give him 5,000 after 5 days or 7 days, and you take the TV along with you. After a week, you tell him that you cannot pay the remaining amount. Now in this case, here we have a seller who has sold a product costing 25,000 rupees. Against it, he has received 20,000 rupees. So what remains is 5,000 rupees, the balance of 5,000 rupees. Now, can we call such a seller an unpaid seller? Will he become an unpaid seller now? Because the definition says whole of the price is not paid, but it's not like whole of the price is not paid to him. We have paid 20,000. So can we call him the unpaid seller? Yes, we can call him an unpaid seller. Why? Because this whole does not mean, this is not in regards to not paying. Like if you have not paid whole of the amount, then he'll become unpaid seller. This means even if some part of the consideration, some part of the price is not paid, he becomes an unpaid seller. In essence, this means when a seller does not receive even a single rupee, even 10 rupees or 100 rupees of his price, he becomes an unpaid seller. So till the time he receives all the money, he actually is an unpaid seller. If a seller has sold something to the buyer, a product to the buyer, so till the time he does not receive the money, does not receive the price, the complete price, the whole price, he remains an unpaid seller. And once he receives all of the price, then the contract terminates. Okay, so the point to note here is, even if some part of the payment is pending, whatever may be the amount, be it 1 rupee, 10 rupee, 100 rupees, 1000 rupees, whatever be the amount, even if some part is pending, the seller becomes an unpaid seller. And there may be a case wherein there is a credit period given. Let's say let's consider this X and this Y. X is the seller and Y is the buyer. Now X sells him a TV, but what does Y do? Y does not give him the payment, but he accepts a bill of exchange. He accepts a bill of exchange because he does not have money right now. So this bill is for 1 month. That means there is a 1 month credit period for the bill. Now in this whole transaction, during this 1 month, I cannot say that X is an unpaid seller. Only after this 1 month elapses and Y does not pay the amount, only then will X become an unpaid seller. So let's say this transaction happened on 1st Jan 15. So the due date of the bill will be, a bill always has 3 days of grace. So the due date will be 4th Feb 15 because there's 1 month tenure. So if on 4th Y pays him the money, the contract gets terminated. If on 4th Y does not pay him money, X becomes unpaid seller. But during this period from 1st Jan to 4th Feb, we cannot say that X is the unpaid seller because he has given him the credit. The payment is not yet due. At first place, if the payment is not due, Y will never pay him. He is not required to pay. So how can we call him unpaid seller? Unpaid seller means who has not received his due payment. But payment is not due yet. So we cannot call him. I'll add one more thing in this. Let's say on 15th Jan, Y becomes insolvent. On 15th Jan, Y becomes insolvent. Now please remember that X has given Y 1 month's credit. And his payment is due on 4th Feb. But on 15th Jan, Y becomes insolvent. Now can we say that X has become an unpaid seller on 15th, or we'll have to wait for 4th Feb to come so as to declare X as unpaid seller? When can we say out of the 2 dates? Out of the 2 dates, X will become an unpaid seller on 15th Jan itself. Because now on 15th Jan, Y has become insolvent. He is not going to pay him. X will not receive money, be it 2 days hence or after a week or on the due date, which is 4th Feb. He'll anyway not receive money. He'll not receive the money because court has declared Y insolvent. So on 15th Jan itself, X will be said to be an unpaid seller. So these were the 2 points that I wanted you to have a clear focus on, because normally when we read the definition, these 2 points do not strike us. Okay, so let's move ahead with some examples. The first example before you is A sold goods to B for rupees 1000. B paid only 990 but failed to pay the balance of 10 rupees. So can we say A is an unpaid seller here? Can we say A is an unpaid seller? Look, he has sold goods of 1000. He's got a payment of 990. 10 rupees is balance. So will he become an unpaid seller now? Yes, he will become an unpaid seller. Because there is some part of the price which is remaining to be paid. It is still balance. Here A was to receive it, but B does not pay. So now, even though there is only 10 rupees, 990 has been paid, A will become an unpaid seller. So here the answer would be yes, A is unpaid seller. Okay, let's go to the next question. A sold goods to B for rupees 1000 and received a check. Check got dishonored. This is very simple. Check got dishonored, that means he did not receive the payment. So we'll again say yes, A is an unpaid seller. Okay, let's go to the next question. A sold goods to B for 1000 on 1 month credit. 1 month has not expired as yet. Now he's given him credit of 1000. Uh, he's given him a credit of 1000 for 1 month. Now the month hasn't expired as yet. So can we say A is an unpaid seller? No, because once the month expires, it is only then that the payment will become due. Before that, X is not supposed to receive the payment, so how can we call him unpaid? The payment is not yet due. The payment will be due after a month. But before that, X cannot be called as unpaid. If after the month expires and B does not give him the payment, then we'll say that A is unpaid seller. But till the time the month expires, we cannot say he is an unpaid seller. So the answer here will be no. A is not an unpaid seller. Okay. Let's go to the next question. A sold goods to B for rupees 1000 on 1 month credit. 1 month has expired. If 1 month has expired and he's not got the payment, then he surely becomes an unpaid seller. So yes, A is unpaid seller. Let's say in this case, he gets the payment. After the month expires, he gets the payment. Then will we call A the unpaid seller? No, we cannot call him the unpaid seller. Because he's got the payment, how can we call him unpaid? So we cannot call him unpaid. Next. A sold goods to B for 1000 on 1 month credit and B became insolvent. Now, if he is insolvent, A is not going to get his money, so he becomes unpaid seller. Okay. Now, please remember, when the buyer becomes insolvent, irrespective of the fact that if he has credit period left or no, the seller will be called the unpaid seller. It does not matter if there was credit given to the buyer and still it is remaining to get over. Still the credit period has not lapsed. If the buyer becomes insolvent, from that date the seller will be called as unpaid seller. Okay, so that is irrespective of the fact of the credit given or not. Okay.